Dang, what the heck? This mealworm. They just got out, so it might take them a minute to get an appetite. The lamp's only been on for like 10 minutes. Oh, what's up, Klondike? You're back again. How often do I feed my skinks? I feed them a few times, up to like 2-3 times a week, just to make sure they're good and healthy. This is how I make sure to feed them enough. So you see how the male skink right here has some scales falling off here and there, single scales? That means that because I haven't been feeding him often enough, that his fat deposits have been growing and shrinking, which is causing him to shed a lot more. She, on the other hand, is perfectly healthy because she's not shedding in individual places. So I feed him enough to keep him just right and healthy. Nice and happy. And I try to make sure their water bowl is always filled, no matter what. Because lizards like skinks could die in almost a week just without water. So I have to make sure they're constantly hydrated. And make sure they're hydrated by looking in between their legs and make sure that their gaps, because that's where they show dehydration, and the eyes. The eyes only show dehydration once. It's almost too late. They are very used to me. I've had them for almost 3 years now. Once they dehydrated mealworms, I have a live mealworm to try feeding them. I'm not sure how they're going to react to the live mealworm because they haven't eaten a lot. They're really hard for me to find. They like to live under decaying logs and stuff. I'm sure they'll eat it. They'll eat like almost anything I give them. Ooh, my bad. I just bonked him on the head. Sorry, buddy. Have I had babies on them? offspring? Not really, because these two are two different breeds. I never mentioned that in my shorts and videos, but this female right here is either a coal skink or a five-line skink. I'm not sure which one she is. I'm pretty sure she's a coal skink. She resembles a lot like one and has the same like instincts as one. But he's a broadhead, so I'm not going to get any offspring from them. Although they're two different breeds of skinks, they're very docile, very friendly. They rarely fight. They do, they do fight over food sometimes, but not like defensively over the food. They try to fight for it because they're hungry. So I try to feed them one at a time, except for the mealworms. They're chill with the mealworms. That's why I feed them that a lot. Provides them tons of nutrients too. Sometimes I can't feed them bugs that don't have all the nutrients for them. So I buy these. It provides them with fat and oil and fiber for them and tons of protein to make sure they have tons of energy. Without energy, it's hard for them to get out and, hunt for the bugs they give them. So I make sure to have a good diet of mealworms and beetles and other stuff to provide them calcium and other nutrients they need, and iron. And even if I tried to get them to have offspring, they need the right environment for that. Right now, they're just in a normal environment where they can eat, hunt, and chillax. An environment for them in order to have, they need moisture, places to lay the eggs. I could do that if I got moss and put it under their log. That way she can be under the log and lay egg. They're still two different breeds, so it wouldn't count anyway. So you know how most lizards can lose their tail in a defensive mechanism? Well, there's also a way to tell if they have or haven't yet in their life. So if you look closely, I'm not sure y'all can see it, but her tail prevents or something, But what's so cool about my male skink is he's never lost his tail. His tail is around 6 inches, lost it. There's no indentions, or completely healthy and happy. And I'm not exactly sure how old the male skink is, but I believe, since I've had him around 3 years, I believe he's almost 4 years old, 4 to 5 years old. And if I'm lucky, he should get up to 8 or 12 years around. She might only live up to 6 or 8 years. Around 4 years old right now as well. I think it's pretty cool the way I can touch my skinks and pet them, unlike most reptiles you either get at a pet store or anything else. Because these skinks are from the wild, so they still have their instincts, and most instincts tell them when a predator's trying to grab them that they get them around the belly, which gets them very skittish and tries to move around. But they actually got used to me by now. So I can touch them on the head, on the belly, and the back, the tail. They really don't care about the tail too much. She, on the other hand, is very skittish. I don't know what's wrong with her, but she's super skittish. She'll let me pet her sometimes, but other times she'll just try to run away. She'll let me pet her right now. That's good. They are. They are very interesting. I learn new things about them every day. They're one of my favorite reptiles, other than snakes and other types of iguanas. My second favorite reptile is a tuatara, very similar to them, and it's believed to say that tuataras are like really close to prehistoric reptiles, as close as they can get. They have the third eye on top of their head, which these skinks don't have third eyes. I made a video explaining what the third eye does and where it is. I'm gonna explain it again just real quick. I need to get closer. So the third eye is in between their head right here on the top. And what it does is it like tells them this where the sunlight is, the heat. It's a calendar and a clock for them, and it helps them balance sometimes, depending on what breed of animal it is. It's sad that skinks don't have a third eye because that would make them really cool, but they're still very interesting just by themselves. Here's another cool fact about them. So, one way they find their bugs and their prey is by their tongue and scent because they don't have touch and feel. But another way is very similar to a T-Rex. They use That's why whenever you see a skink in the wild and they suddenly see you, that's when they start to run. It's because their sight works once something's moving. You said you wonder if the third eye makes it more sensitive on the head? It actually does not, because it doesn't have any sort of nervous system or anything to touch at all. The third eye doesn't form images, it helps them with the lighting and other stuff they need that they can't do themselves. Fight over the heat right now. See him using his tongue? I don't think he's hungry yet. Nobody knows I have a mealworm. It might be another 10 minutes before they start getting hungry. That lamp isn't as warm as the sun outside, so it takes a while to get their metabolism up and running because they're cold-blooded. Yeah, it has been really cold recently. Being that it's really cold, you'd think they'd want to hibernate, but because they've had them in the tank for so long that they don't really know what date or what time or, anything is, so they don't really try to hibernate often. Sometimes once or twice a week they try to go into the log and this. They'll eat year round. Because they don't have the third eye to tell them like what day or season it is, like a calendar, they just come out whenever the lamp's on, thinking that it's just a normal summer. This mealworm is going crazy inside this container. I'm gonna see if she'll want to eat it. But what I have to do first is I have to make sure you don't have no fangs or anything, because mealworms actually have like little pinchers. If you've ever... Why does my camera do this? Come on, camera, how dare. My camera's still focused to be up close. You see those little fangs he has? The reason I gotta defang him is so I have to make sure he don't have those while I go to feed him. So I'm gonna camera. Because I tried going live and doing things like that, but it's really hard to prop up the phone. Okay, I just got rid of them. You gonna live me? Oh, he wants that. There you go, gal. Usually they're not picky when it comes to eating mealworms. I gave him an opportunity. He didn't want the mealworm. I have one more little bug though. This little Suriname roach right here. Trying to get my camera to focus again. Come on, camera. Oh, he sees it. Come on, buddy. There you go. And just went behind the rock. Wow. Just my luck. She steals his food all the time, too. It's weird. Her metabolism acts way faster than his does. Because it'll be a day or two before I feed him again, and when I go to feed him, she'll be a lot thinner than he is. He'll still have fat stored while she's starving. You want a mealworm, bud? Hmm. They might just want live bugs. It's weird. Hmm. Since they want live bugs so much, I'm probably gonna go out and go try to find some bugs for them. So I'm just gonna let y'all sit here and chill and watch them while I go find some bugs. Might be 3 to 5 minutes. I'm just gonna go look under some logs. I'm back. It was a little quicker than I thought. Found some very interesting bugs though. Whew, I'm out of breath. I ran quite a distance. Okay. So, I have a massive mealworm. Absolutely massive. A little mealworm. 2 Suriname roaches, and a narrow-mouthed toad. This should be plenty of food for them for like almost the whole week. But I'm gonna feed them now, so it might last them 2 or 3 days until they get hungry again. Okay, I'm gonna start with the Suriname roaches. They gain their wings once they reach adulthood. I'm gonna start with the adult Suriname roach. Yeah, she keeps missing it. There she goes. Oh, they might fight over it. No, no, no. I got your bug buddy, hold on. Just 1 second. Uno momento. There you go. Now you don't have to fight over it. Now everybody's happy. That was just a snack for him. She's struggling with it. Trying to put it in her mouth. He has such a massive head that he just downs these guys without a second thought. She's struggling over there. Let's go. 3 people love my Shrek. I am happy to hear that. Shrek's just sitting there in the corner. He don't know what's going on. Just watching the horror of it all as I feed them. Here's the little baby of dubia roach. Suriname roach, not dubia roach. They look very similar to dubia roaches. Just a lot smaller down in size. While I watch them, I'm gonna find something to prop up my phone so y'all can watch me defang this mealworm. I always have problems propping my phone up just right for y'all to watch. Okay. There we go. I have to get a small dish for that mealworm, because that container's hiding. I don't think I have anything to put that worm in. Nope. Nothing. Well, I could put him inside this. There you go. Big old mealworm. About 2.5 inches long. I can't grab it. Don't bite me. He's so slippery. Come on. Okay, I don't know if y'all can see that, but he has... Because if I find a way to get a hold of his eyes, my skinks, it'll still hurt him pretty bad. And I don't want him to be blind. Because the eyes is the most important organ on a skink's body. That way they can hunt. Handy dandy nail clippers. Get back in there. Dang it. It's not easy to hold these guys down. Not only are they slippery, but they're very squirmish. There we go. Come on, camera, focus. And you just take their head off, just like that. So now he's a filled with nutrients. And my hands are nasty now, so I gotta go wash them. That's probably enough food for him for a day or two. Should last him a little bit at least. I have an idea for another live. So I heard that lizards like reptiles and skinks They hate the smell and taste of spicy things. Peppers and on my finger and see if they don't like it. Because if so, that'd be like huge for my parents because they hate skinks running around the house. So they just put like hot sauce on the ground. It's out of them anymore. I planned on going on a live for an hour today, so I got about 10 minutes left. I'm going to see if they want that little toad. I created a short on them eating a frog, and I got so much hate from people that didn't want to see that. It's just a frog. I mean, frogs are cute and they're sweet. I think so too, but I mean, it's Animal Kingdom. They eat stuff like that. In case you ever heard of a green anole, like a little lizard, little green lizard running around people's houses, they're really popular down here in the south, but skinks eat those sometimes. And I hate it when they do that because I love green anoles. You want a frog? Little frog? Yeah, he wants to frog. Maybe not. Yeah, he don't want the frog. Come here, buddy. One more time. You sure about the frog? No one wants the frog. I don't feed him frogs often, but when I want him to get that nice hydration and get nice, good fats, I feed him a frog. My phone does not want to be propped up. There we go. And now I gotta wash my hands again because frogs carry salmonella. Yum. I'm gonna be honest, I think people at pet shops and stuff need to start breeding more skinks. They have blue-tongued skinks and geckos, but they need to have a different, like, more open variety of skinks, because skinks are really great first pets and they're really unique. Easy to take care of, easy to feed, very docile. And it's still very impressive and really cool to have. They're also very safe. They don't want to try to bite or anything unless you pick them up and provoke them. And even if they do, they don't hurt much. Nothing but a miniature Komodo dragon. And there's the king dragon trying to get on his throne. Sometimes when they're super chillaxed, they'll, like when they're sunbathing, they'll put their arms behind their back. It's absolutely adorable. Being that they just ate after the live, they're going to be like sunbathing for a couple hours to digest that food. Now that I got a few minutes left, I'd like to thank a few people that watched me on this live. You got to watch me feed my skinks. They're all fat and happy now. Like I said in the last live, I'm going to be going live almost every weekend at least. That way more of y'all can watch, and it's easier for me. And this whole time, it's been an hour I've been on the live, and they still haven't touched the mealworms. I think at least one of them. I'm not sure, since I was getting bugs and y'all watching them, but they wanted live bait, I guess. Real food. It's like in Jurassic Park. You don't want to go after those mealworms. They want to hunt and get out. Hunt for their own food and fend for themselves. They still, even though I caught them from the wild and tamed them for almost 3 years, they still have those instincts to want to hunt live bugs and do stuff. I think that's pretty cool. Miniature dinosaurs in my house. So I've got about 1 minute left till I get off. So I'd like to thank you all for watching. Gonna be going live almost every weekend, so make sure to subscribe and hit the notification. Y'all can see when I go live, and y'all can join. Next time, I'm gonna be getting some hot sauce and see if that irritates them if they don't like that. Not in a harmful way, just to see if they don't like the smell or the taste of spicy things. 'cause some research I found said they don't like that. I just wanna see if it's true.